I used to play Apex every single day. I mean, literally every day. From the moment it launched until about a year ago. Man, I thought Apex was going to be the next Fortnite. It was going to take the world by storm. And for me, it did, at least for a little bit. The movement, the gameplay, the legends, the guns, it was all exhilarating. But, like all things touched by EA, Apex fell victim to the same brainless, greedy schemes that have tarnished many of their other games. So what happened? How did a game with so much potential crash and burn? Today, I want to talk about the downfall of Apex and exactly where it all went wrong. Is there any hope of a comeback? Or has the sun already set on what was one of the most dominant shooters in the gaming scene at one point? But real quick before I dive in, I just want to say that I'm not relying on my personal experience here. I've scoured Reddit, forums, and multiple community discussions to make sure that my list of issues for this game isn't just a personal rant. As much as I'd love to, as much as I have tons and tons of things to say about this game, I'm going to kind of try to stick to the facts here. So bear with me as I try to figure this out. I've narrowed it down to about 9 big issues with the game. And yes, of course, I'm going to sprinkle in my opinion in there, but why not, you know? And before anyone says skill issue, yeah, it probably is, but God forbid that EA allows anyone to casually play a game these days. But that's enough said. Let's jump right into the problem with Apex Legends. Now, my first and probably biggest gripe is the matchmaking and team play issues. I mean, wow. This is hands down the most frustrating part of Apex for me. Finding suitable teammates has become a fucking nightmare. If you're not squatting up with friends, good luck getting matched with players who communicate or work together. Solo queuing is like a gamble where half the time you're paired with people who have the game sense of a fucking potato. To make matters worse, once you hit level 100, it feels like you're suddenly dropped into these lobbies where it's only Apex predators. Like, oh hey, there's a pro level player. Have fun getting wiped off the map instantly. I quit because I couldn't stand dropping in and getting clapped by someone playing on It's Timmy's level. If I wanted to get destroyed that fast, shit dude, I'd boot up Elden Ring. Their matchmaking system has been one of the most complained about features, especially once you get into higher ranks. For example, as soon as I hit Diamond, it's immediately only putting me in Predator lobbies. And it's not just me. Many players are frequently finding themselves facing off against much better opponents, even in casual lobbies, which can feel brutal for non-professional players. The community for Apex has also frequently pointed out how the current system forces players into lopsided matches, making the experience more about survival than your actual enjoyment of the game. This disparity is especially stark after the ranks reset, which is every season. Every single season, you will get immediately thrown back in amongst the greats. It's ridiculous. As much as I'd love to sit here and talk about how horrible their matchmaking is, I'm going to move on to the legend balancing. Now, this has been an ongoing issue since day one. Some legends are ridiculously overpowered, while others are basically walking bullet sponges. Take Horizon. When she launched, holy smokes, absolutely busted. She was so strong that if you didn't have her on your team, you were asking to lose. Meanwhile, I was sitting over here as a Gibby or a Caustic main. Slow, heavy legends who get melted faster than ice cream in the sun. I mean, why even bother trying to strategically bunker up when you can literally just get black holed into oblivion? It honestly has felt like a lot of the legends they're adding is to add legends for legends' sake. Now, I will be honest, I did play a little bit today while I was trying to record this video, and I did see that they haven't added a new legend in a minute, which is nice, you know, it shows that maybe they're finally incorporating some feedback in, but at the same time, they just still have way too many characters with way too varied of abilities. Now, in complete honesty, balances have never been EA's strong suit, and especially with this game. I mean, it fucking shows, like, the Revenant rework that they went through, I mean, that took years for them to finally listen to that. And even then, once again, as I played earlier today, what the fuck is that passive ability? I mean, the left bumper doesn't even do anything. He jumps maybe 5 feet in the air. So it really just feels like they're throwing darts at a dartboard and randomly selecting who gets nerfed and who gets buffed. On top of releasing broken, characters every single update. I guess that stopped recently, so huzzah to Apex for that. Yeah, I know I said I wasn't going to rant a lot, but here we are, ranting. So now let's move on to ranting about the lack of variety. Oh yeah, Apex nailed Battle Royale for a little while. I mean, let's be real, they're the one who fucking brought back reboot vans. Fortnite did not have that, and they totally copied Apex from it. And Apex honestly was probably beating Fortnite for a while too. I mean, they were kind of crushing it. But after about 4 years, you got the sweats. And the sweats made it so dropping in and immediately getting melted ruined the game. So, hey, let's add a new game mode, they said. They added Arenas. And to be frank, for a while, Arenas was pretty buggy. But it was another game mode, and it gave players other things to do while in the world of Apex. And don't get me wrong, I totally complained about it just as much as the next guy when it was around. But at the same time, like, they permanently removed it. Instead of fixing the bugs and re-implementing it into the game, they just took it out. One of the best game modes Apex has ever introduced was the Winter Express, which is the train game mode. That was phenomenal, and it was amazing, and they totally should have implemented it as a full-time game. But instead, it's a seasonal event that I don't think has returned for 2 years. And then, yes, the middle child, Team Deathmatch. I genuinely don't know why they thought that Apex Legends needed a fucking Team Deathmatch game mode. That has nothing to do with the game. Like, I can see how some people might enjoy that, but here's where I'm going to get real personal on my opinions. It sucks. And having all these legends who do different abilities makes it incredibly difficult to have a sane-looking Team Deathmatch map. And I guess they add seasonal events, you know, like right now they're doing the Halloween one, which you'll see here. And that one was fun, you know, it's just Rebirth though. They're just stealing game modes from other games. And I understand that in today's culture, there's so much of that, but no one's looking for that anymore. We're not looking and saying, oh wow, this game did that great, and this game did that great, let's put it in this game. We're looking for games to innovate and add their own spin and variety to things. Number 4, the server issues. Man, this is a tough one. Their servers are an absolute fucking joke. Imagine this. You finally make it through a 20-minute queue, only for the first game to crash 10 minutes into the match. It's like running a marathon and faceplanting right before the fucking finish line. Add in the constant lag, rubber banding, and random disconnections. It's amazing how anyone sticks around in this game. Like, back when I played when it was at its peak, it was every other game you would teleport, lag around, glitch. I mean, I thought I was playing fucking Portal at one point. It's unbelievable how we can't just lock in and make servers that run correctly. It's all about this slop and cramming as many people on one as you can. On top of that, there's the horrible ass audio. Oh my god. Dude, sometimes you hear a team of 3 sprinting from halfway across the map, and other times a full stack will sneak up on you and put it in your bum while you're not looking. Like, you just don't hear anything. The sound design is inconsistent and just as bad as the matchmaking, honestly. It's something that EA really needs to look into and hear their players. When people are saying, hey, this sucks, EA, maybe it sucks. Now, obviously, I'm not a game developer, so I don't want to sit here and sound like I'm just tooting my own horn and saying I could do it better. I probably couldn't. But I do have suggestions, as has the community, and I do think it's important for Apex and EA to look into those and hear what their community has to say. This next one really gets my gears going. So, at number 5, we have legend token and pack issues. I can't even count how many times I've hit a milestone and didn't receive the tokens or packs I was supposed to. On top of that, if you look it up, there was a big stint for a while where people would just lose all their stuff, all their account, and all their progress. It was really bad at one point. And for the record, I've spent over $500 on Apex Legends. 500. I'm 21. So, in the span of 5 years, or whatever it is, how long I've had the game, minus last year, it's like, dude, I've spent so much fucking money on this game, and that was when I was in high school. Like, I didn't have a big boy job, I wasn't really making bank, I was spending a lot of my paychecks on Apex. Bad decision, yes, but it was something I chose to do, and they are so unrewarding for that. I put $400 to $500 of those dollars just straight into the packs. Guess how many heirlooms I have? One heirloom. I got 1 heirloom in all my years of playing Apex. Like, half the time you open a fucking pack, it's 2 grays and a blue. Like, it's so unbelievably bad, and they give you nothing out of the rewards. And then on top of that, they have these heirloom events where, oh, you want this new heirloom? $280. Or, oh, you want this heirloom skin? $280. A game is so pay to win, and I can't stand it anymore. It's one of those things that it just needs to be fixed. I get it. You want money, but look at your community. How many people realistically still play that game and are dropping money on it? How many people are still playing that game because of the pay to win aspect of it? I mean, think about that old R99 skin. I'm honestly not 100% sure if it ever got patched, but it was a literal pay to win skin. The sites on it were better than any other site in the game. Why would you not buy that skin? Oh, you don't have the money? Too bad, you're getting beamed. This next issue I have isn't really an Apex or EA problem-ish. See, my next issue is with AFK players and people who leave matches. Like, they need to get punished. I'm sick of getting in the fucking bus and getting all the way to the end just to have my teammate AFK and nosedive into the ground. Or, oh, hey, I took Pathfinder and you apparently wanted him? Leave the game. Like, come on, EA. I understand that you have that as a penalty for ranked or whatever, but in casuals, it's really bad. As well as people throwing games when they don't get what they want in ranked because they know they're going to get banned. Like, we need an actual report system where I can report people for going AFK. I think Brawl Stars just did a really good job of that. I know a lot of you may not play that game, but their ranked game just implemented a way to ban people who threw. And that's something that Apex needs because, oh my god. Like, I don't know what these people are doing. Are they making a sandwich in the dropship? Like, why are you in this lobby if you're not going to play the game? I need a teammate and I need someone with a brain. And that also circulates back to matchmaking where it's, okay, skill-based. You know, don't put me with a level 5 player and then stick us in Predator lobbies. If you're going to put me with a level 5, put us in level 5 lobbies. And moving on to number 7, we have the overpowered weapons. Weapon balancing? What's that? Take the charge rifle, for instance. It went from being a meme tier weapon, like the bane of everyone's existence in rank, to nothing. I mean, they took hit scan off of it. And before it was good, it was ass. No one used it. They can't find that sweet spot where it makes a weapon good. I think the best they've ever gotten is the R301, and even that has too much beam potential, I feel like. I think the flatline might honestly be the most just well-rounded and balanced weapon in the game. And I know I'm tired of listening to me whine too, but the weapon balancing is just kind of common sense. I don't know. And that's another thing with Apex. They need to make every single weapon do about half the amount of damage it does now. I mean, there should not be a TTK of like fucking 3 seconds. There are some guns in this game that can annihilate you. And it's insane. It's like it's a close quarters combat. It shouldn't be something that I'm getting popped off the face of the planet in 4 seconds. It's just simple balancing, and I get that maybe it's the fast pace and it's more like COD or whatever, but that's part of the fun of Apex is using the Legends abilities and stuff and fighting in skirmishes, and having a weapon that has just meltability is kind of insane. Okay, number 8, new player experience. Now, I haven't really had an issue with this because obviously I've been playing the game for a while. So, this goes out for my noobs out there. And I genuinely feel bad for y'all. I mean, this game is so heavily movement based. And there's almost no guidance on how to use tech like tap strafing or wall bouncing. Apex throws newbies into bot-filled matches for 10 games or until they hit level 10, something like that. And once they quote-unquote graduate from that, they're met with a brick wall of insane difficulty against real players. I mean, it's just like they're set up to fail. New player onboarding system is just bad. 10 matches with AI? What does that teach you? Oh, how to run around the map a little bit? Cool. You have a training range for that. I mean, you need a system that eases players into the actual experience without throwing them into the deep end immediately after. And if you want to throw them in the deep end, fine, but fix your skill-based matchmaking. Because like I said, you will get level 5 teammates and play against Predators, or be the level 5 and play against Predators. I mean, come on. Like, this is so bad, and it's so frustrating to watch someone who's new to the game try to learn it because they just hate it. I tried to get my little brother into it like 2 years ago. He would not do it. I mean, it was just so unforgiving towards him. Last but not least, keyboard and mouse versus controller. Or more accurately, PC versus console. This debate never ends, and this isn't about which one's better or which one's worse. Although if you are going to play this game, Apex makes it better to play on PC. Wow, why would Apex do that? How do they do that? You can't perform almost any of the movement strats on console. It's really weird. You can't tap strafe, and I understand that a lot of it goes into like, oh, it's a console and you can do specific keybinds on PC. That's fine, but you need to remove it from PC because I can't get into lobbies and get shit on by that movement tech. And it's also just not fair. Like, if it's a movement heavy game, let console players do movement. And that's right. I'm an Xbox player, baby. Xbox till I die. And so I don't want to deal with that shit. I want to be able to do that shit. Either make it available for everyone or take it out of the game. It shouldn't give people an advantage to play on a different console or a different setup. That's insane. On top of that, in order to make up for that, for some reason they decide to give console just the most aim assist physically known to man. Like, it's basically fucking auto aim. And then they have all the zinners and fucking strike pad users on Xbox that they're doing nothing about, so they just have double aimbot. And man, it's just old. They need to find a way to balance that, fix the changes, make it so that, hey, PC and console can run the same way. Okay. The rant is over. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and this is my first one like this. I'm working on trying to get a new setup and trying to make some more long-form videos. But if you did enjoy this, feel free to check out my last one. It's only about 6 minutes long, but I put a lot of effort into these. I'm a college student, and I'm working alone to make these. I'd like to eventually go full-time with this, but we'll see how traction gets. Anyways, you guys have a great rest of your days, weeks, weekends, whatever it is, and stay safe out there. And I promise in the future, I'm not just going to make videos complaining about games. My next one, I intend to make either a history of LEGO video games or talking about the wonderful and amazing Nintendo 64. Y'all stay safe. Peace.